Today we're taking a trip to the world famous Muscle Beach in Venice, California. We're having a wonderful day here in glorious Venice, California at Muscle Beach, and the gang's all here for their day in the sun and their great workout.
Come on!
Go! 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 Go!
Now, Muscle Beach at Venice is particularly important for Motu lore because of Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now, Arnold was a world champion bodybuilder, Hollywood legend, and even political leader in the state of California. And his early big breakthrough hit, Conan the Barbarian, was the inspiration for He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. Legend has it that when Mattel was first creating He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, they were going to be making He-Man toys. But then when the producers saw how violent the movie was, they thought, no way can we sell these toys to kids. So they came up with their own lore and their own barbarian hero. There are so many similarities between Conan the Barbarian and He-Man, starting with the most obvious, that we've got a muscle-bound barbarian as our hero. But there was also a particular emphasis placed on the importance of the sword and how important their steel was to their identity and their culture and being a warrior. Tulsa Doom was the villain of Conan, and depending on which iteration you looked at, the comic version or the movie version, in the movie version, he was played by James Earl Jones, and near the third act of the movie, he morphs into a giant, hideous snake creature, very King Hiss. But in the original comics, Tulsa Doom actually looked quite a bit like Skeletor with his monstrous skull face. Conan's love interest, Valeria, looked quite a bit like She-Ra. She had the Valkyrie look that went on to become the She-Ra look. Now, of course, the relationships were switched. She was sort of a love interest in the Conan movie, and we know that they are siblings in the He-Man and She-Ra story. But the look was undeniable. There were some other female characters that were important in the sequel to Conan the Barbarian in the movie Conan the Destroyer. There was Zulu, who was played by Grace Jones, and her character went on to then inspire Huntara the Huntress in the She-Ra cartoons. The villainess in Conan the Destroyer was Queen Tarmis, who was very much like an Evil-Lyn character. She was glamorous, beautiful, and evil, and set out to destroy everyone and rule the world. And she was played gloriously by the incomparable Sarah Douglas.
It's amazing what a new outfit can do.
Another similarity was the use of comic relief. In both movies, there was someone to go along with Conan to be the comic relief. Now, in He-Man, of course, we've got Orko. But in the two movies, they had Subtoy and Moloch, who took turns sort of being the sidekick, the best friend, and the comic relief. And then there was even additional sequels made to the Conan franchise, although they were technically not called Conan because for copyright reasons, but they was called Red Sonja. And the Red Sonja character was quite a bit like Teela, and she was played by the beautiful Brigitte Nielsen. So there's so much history here in Venice, California. It's just adjacent to Hollywood, and so it harkens back to all those wonderful, amazing sword and sorcery movies made in the 80s, Arnold, his fantastic career, and how it all went into the stew to create what we now know and love as Masters of the Universe.
Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for our next exciting adventure.
Subscribe!